Welcome back to class. As promised, at the end of our last session, I said today we're going to be working on the basic logo design, and we're going to be using the tools as shown on our last class. And in addition to that, we're going to be using our text tool for the first time today. Alright, remember, I will always urge you, this is your first time you are with us, and this is the first video you are watching from DCB Academy for the graphics class, and it's wrong. You should go back and watch the first two before this, so you know you are on the right track. You can't skip steps. It will affect you, especially if you've not used CorelDRAW before. Yeah, you have to follow one step at a time. That's the same reason I'm teaching you CorelDRAW before we start bringing in Photoshop to the fold. We are following a certain progression which is best for you. If you're not following our social media handles, please endeavor to do that now. Personal handles as That's Cinema Boy on every platform, and DCB Academy on Instagram, and the brand company in which these two subsidiaries fall under Coolbase Media. Alright, welcome. Today we're going to, like I said, we're going to be working on basic logo design. Alright, let's get straight to business. First of all, you have to visualize what you want in your head. Now, what kind of brand am I designing for? How do I want the logo to look? Sometimes young graphic designers tend to sketch on a sheet of paper before coming to your workspace on PC, so they have a better idea of what they want. But me, I'm used to just keeping the imagination in my head and seeing the vision in my head. You get, so now I already have a sense of what I want, and I think I'm going to be designing for an interior decor company that does interior decoration. When you think about interior decoration, you know you're talking about an office space, a house, a home. Yeah, so it definitely has to do with building. The interior has to be inside a building or maybe a party, but it has to do with a structure, designing inside a structure. So now I have a certain shape, some shapes and stuff I've put in my head and say this is what I want to work with. And now I'm going to achieve it using the very tools I've already shown you before. And let's get down to business. First, I'm going to come here and using our rectangle tool. That's what I would like to start with, if you don't mind. Now, we are here. Good. Remember, I showed you this. I can be explaining each tool over and over again, which is why I say, if you have not seen the first two videos, or if you're having lapses concerning the first two videos, I would urge you to go back and view them. When you feel you're prepared enough for this, then you come and continue from this level. So now this is how I think I would be starting. Okay, this is before converting to curves. Now let me do simple conversion to curves. Good. And now come right here, break apart. Yes, I broke it apart, so that's why it lost its color. It's no longer like a solid shape, it's now like lines. You get, pay attention to what I'm doing, pay attention to everything, how I click, what I click, what I alter, what I increase, how I color, what I color, when I use outlines and when I use fill. Now this is a line, you cannot color a line, you outline it. You cannot fill a line, rather. Instead, you outline it. You feel the outline, not inside, because it's no longer a shape. It's no longer a shape, as a line. You get. Okay, good. Now this is where I want to start. I don't think this is even. If I can bring this down a bit. Now I'm going to be introducing you to your rulers. You have a line of rulers here. You have line of rulers here, right, horizontally and vertically. So when you're having calculation issues, if two objects are on a straight line, you just draw down your ruler and you use one. You left click here and you drag down, bring your ruler down. put it at place you want to make sure. If you can't see it very well, you zoom your zoom tool here. The shortcut to your zoom tool is your letter Z. You see it written when you hover on top of it. You see the shortcut in bracket Z. So I'm used to using shortcuts. I've just been pulling back from shortcuts so the students could understand. That is my zoom tool. Remember, I taught you to use the zoom tool. Now my goal is to make sure these two things are on a straight line. That's why I put them in the ruler. Okay. Alright, let's do this. I think I'm altering this too much. Way too much. Okay. I want to ascertain a certain level of straightness. Certain level of straightness. Okay. Though, take note, these are some of the stuff that makes a logo unique. You're not copying a shape from somebody. This is your own shape. When you sign in a trademark, there are things that are supposed to make your trademark exclusive to you, which makes it difficult for somebody else to forge it. It's difficult for somebody else to forge it. For example, I designed this logo, and I can tell you now, because I am the designer, that this axis and this axis are not in the same alignment. This axis is straighter than here. Yes, I can see that. Though I didn't do it on purpose, and I can fix it here, but I would rather leave it as such. It's a nice way to make my trademark exclusive. I'm going to come back here, come to my select tool, pull this ruler down a bit until I need it again. Now, okay, and what I actually want to achieve is to create something like a window. Yeah, that's what I want to act as a logo for this brand. I'm going to be doing everything from scratch. Okay, now I take this to be the frame for my window. Now, come in here, pick the rectangle tool again. Come here. Now I think I'm just going to go ahead and convert to curves. First, because I only want one node curved. I just want to curve only one node. After curving it, I'm going to come here and click smooth. I handed that wrongly. Let's go back. Ctrl Z. Okay. See, that's the thing when you've converted an object to curve, you don't really have any specific kind of how would I put it, law and order to follow. You just reshape until you get what you feel is right. Okay. Alright, so I want this, but I have to zoom in because I don't want two curves to be too like I want the curve from the shape I just created to blend more to the frame I've already created. I hope you can get what I'm saying. I really do hope you can get what I'm saying. Now there's a sweet beauty about the shape too. I told you before, it makes a lot of things look flexible. Now if you see this, I've created the shape I want. Come back to page. Now I'm going to duplicate what I just created because I want it on the other side as well. I want one on the right, one on the left, and one on the right rather. So I'm just going to use a shortcut, Ctrl D. That's for duplicate. Now the object I selected has been duplicated. I bring it here, and I come here and I flip it to face the other side. If you just saw what I did and for some reason you don't understand it, take this video back and replay again and again. If you feel you still don't understand it, then you can drop a question for me. Now that ruler I dropped, I think I'm going to be needing it now. I'm bringing my ruler back up. Yeah. Put in here. Good. They are aligned. Now I want to pick these two. To remember, I showed you how to select objects. I want to pick these two objects. Shift, click, click. So there's two objects. Okay. make them wider. One thing in graphic design is you need to be intentional about what you're doing something and you feel, oh no, I think I'm getting this wrong. Don't ever hesitate to start again. There's nothing wrong with it. You could just like take down what you've done, open a new page and just start again if you think that will give you the best results you want. Okay, now this is what I wanted to achieve here. Now this is what I wanted to achieve here. Yeah, good. Now that's just the top part. I want to put something on that. Let me take this ruler up first. Take it here so I can align it. I want to bring another ruler here. Good. Because I want to create an object. Create a rectangle under this. Good. It's not perfectly aligned, so I'm going to shift it so it rests well on the ruler. Good. Now I can bring another ruler here. With this, I'm very sure you're seeing Ctrl D again. With this, I'm very sure you're seeing what I'm trying to achieve by now. If you're not seeing it, maybe you see it when I zoom out. Maybe you see it better when I zoom out. Okay. If you see, now let me take a zoom closer so you see something. If you notice, this object is resting closer to the ruler than this. There's still a little space here between this one and the ruler, so it's not well aligned. So I'm going to have to bring this forward a bit. I think I'm going to need another ruler under this since I'm moving so I don't make mistakes. So I think now it's resting good. Resting well on the ruler lines. Same way I come here and adjust this to rest on the ruler lines so they align accurately. Good. Now you go back, page view. Let me delete these rulers. Just click a ruler and click delete. If you want to delete them, click a ruler, click delete. Or you can just right click it and come here and click delete. Right click a ruler, come here, click delete. Now this is what I was trying to achieve just now. This is what I was trying to achieve just now. I think it's not looking bad. But now, what if I tell you there's another way to achieve this window, the window bar, the window frame? I want to try something. See, that's what this class is all about. I want to try something. Remember, I told you the act of merging shapes the other time. Now, I want to go from the beginning again. Firstly, creating a perfect square. I want to use my shape tool before. I'm not converting to curves now. I'm just using my shape tool on the ordinary shape as I created it. I'm going to do the same thing I did, but not till the end. Maybe just curvy like this, right? Okay, no, let's take it to the end. Take it to the end, right? Now I want to create another perfect square. Create another perfect square from this node. Okay, sorry about that. Create another perfect square. This is another perfect square. Now I bring it here. And bring it here. Okay. Probably I haven't mentioned this to you before. Always remember that every graphic designer has the task of coming up with a technique that suits them the most. Now I just did this, right? Just did this. Now let's go back to page. Now remember these are still two objects we've not grouped. I showed you how to group the other time, but these are still two objects and we have not grouped. So let's leave it as this while we are still here. Now we'll come and let's do this. Now grouped. Now they are no longer as two objects but as one. But now it's more like a closed space, right? It's not really looking like a bar. You get. Now, how do we break that? Good. Now, let me show you another trick. Come here. We put an outline, set outline color. Come here, maybe. I'm sorry. Come here. Like 8. You're seeing the same green because I'm using the same fill color as outline color, so that's why you're not seeing different color. But when we remove the fill now and leave just the outline, I have seen just the outline without the fill. So maybe we'll increase this outline to maybe 12. Okay, maybe sticker 16 is sticker. Good. Wonderful. Now we have this, right? Now let's convert. It's still a curve. Good. That's beautiful. If it was not still a curve, then we'll convert to curve again. Now let's come to this tool. Now come here. This node. Remember we always have the break apart option. We just broke this. Double tap, breaks. Now you can come here. Back to the shape tool. Draw to select these two nodes just at the bottom. Raise up to shorten. Now you notice that we no longer needed a ruler to make sure they are aligned. You get it? Now this now looks more accurate than this. You get. I can literally just delete this and throw this away. I prefer to use the other. This here. You get it? This here. Definitely do this. Now you see how this looks now. So you could choose to just leave this as it is, and it's a logo. Yes, it's depicting something, like it's a window, right? Definition because in the building. But me, I'm a stubborn designer, which is why sometimes I stay long in creating one design. I like to try things. You get it? I like to try things. Now, what would I try? What could I do to make this look more, should I say, spectacular? Okay. Now, I forgot something. We would have mentioned the name of the company we're working with. See, the name of the brand sometimes helps. Now, let's see. We are calling this the Sweet Home Interiors. Sweet Home Interiors. Now, let's have that in mind. The name of the company, Sweet Home Interiors. Now, as a graphic designer, your ideas are only limited as far as you can think. Your ideas are only limited by your thoughts. You get it? So think wild, think far. Don't limit your ideas. Get me? Good. Now, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Okay. So let's do this. Let's do this, right? And take note sometimes. We graphic designers tend to add too much effect to a design. Yeah, we tend to add too much effect to a design. Sometimes it causes an issue. Very true. Sometimes we just need to leave things as they are. And sometimes our wasabi did too much. Pardon that. Okay. Alright, let's see. Maybe we can tweak something a bit. Create something kind of spectacular to it. Alright, let's just try something. It doesn't work out, then we take it off. That's what graphics is about after all. So I'm just going to convert this to curves. Go to my shape tool. I'm going to make this curve. I'm going to smooth this up. Good. I'm going to actually smooth up all my edges. I'll smooth up all my edges. I'm just trying to build something unique, if possible. Why don't I just take this to curve and make this smooth? Okay. Honestly, I know not what I am doing. I do not have an idea what I want to do, but I just feel like there should be something more added to the design. Yeah, that's just it. So if I finish and I see want to like it, I am free to take it off the design. But it seems to be coming placed quite well. Seems to be coming placed quite well. I think I like it. I think it's unique. It's quite unique. Let me flip it and see how it looks. Yeah, I think it looks better. It's flipped. So I think I like this. Now, take note. We've been designing, but we have not brought our client's color preference into play. We just design, right? We design. So now I can tag the name of the brand, as I said. Okay, Sweet Homes, right? Sweet Homes Interiors. Now, I'm very sure you saw how I got to my text tool. Yeah, that is why I expect all of us to develop mentally as we go in this class. It's not everything I'll just say, okay, follow me, I want to go and take this tool now. But I'm very sure you observed how I got my text tool. The same way I've been picking other tools. I just came here and picked my text tool and clicked on where I wanted it and I typed it. So I can select it. Now what if I don't like the cases in? I want it on uppercase. That's very simple. Double click and highlight it, or just come here, highlight it all. Right click. You see change case, sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, title case. Get sentence case means the first letter is a capital letter, in caps lock, and the rest are all on lowercase. Title case means the first letter of every word is on caps lock and the other letters know which words are on lowercase. So I think I'm going to go for uppercase. Yeah. Now, remember, the same way your objects have nodes, your texts have nodes. You get, so you just mess around with it with the nodes for sizes. Same way you do it with your object. And the same way shape to manipulate objects, you also manipulate your text. You do this with your shape tools. You get, but be very careful not to abuse tools. Select, if you want to change your fonts, you come here, your font bar. For those of you that use Microsoft Word, it's almost the same thing. Come here, pick a font you want to use. I won't go too deep into fonts because I have more fonts than all of you at this point. I have thousands of fonts. Right now I have 2,524 fonts in this system, and I did not install all my fonts. And most of the fonts are not even appearing in CorelDRAW. Yeah. So that's that. We're just going to use a simple font, our simple Arial font. I'm just going to make it bold. And I'm going to bring it down a bit, put it here. Now is when I actually want to think about color. This is actually when I want to think about color. What colors would I like to use? Green is very nice. Yeah, green is quite nice. You can do a color combo, but one trick I will teach you now. See where color matters a lot. Where colors matters a lot. If you design a logo, you have to be prepared to make it in two formats: a light format and a shade format. You get, so because a logo is literally the identity of the person's brand, of your client's brand. It will be on every document, on every mock-up, on every job sample. It's there. So if you want your logo, if the person wants you put his or her logo on white or a bright document, white colored paper, or a white colored job sample, bright colored job sample, the person will definitely need a dark version of the logo. Now this is a dark kind of shade of green we are using, so this can go on a bright color document just as it is on a white background. Now, what if the person wants to put this on a dark color document or dark color job sample? We have to create a bright version of the logo. So if you want to do like a color mix, in the logo, we have to, since we've started with a dark shade, whatever color we're adding to it has to be in its dark shade. That's the point I wanted to bring up. So if I was going to mix this green with orange, I will use something dark. If you notice, it has an outline. Let's remove all the outlines from those 4 window shapes. Select them. I taught you how to select objects. Come here, right click and remove set outline color, so remove the outline. So maybe this orange is not really thick enough. That group I just okay. Now good. Let me teach you this. Sometimes you see this object now. I think this object might be this. Good. You know what's happening now? Why I'm trying to select this and select what's inside and selecting the big one, because the big one is actually in front of the other 4 window shapes that are inside. Now, how do we get those ones to the front and this one to the back? It's very simple. Just right click this object in the front that you want to send to the back. Come here, click order. You see to front of page, to back of page, to front of layer, or bring it forward with 1 step, or we'll send it backward with 1 step. You get. So now send it to the back of the layer. Click on this place, come here. You see that one now objects now. Unlike before, we couldn't click them. So let's make this orange a bit thicker. Remember, I told you colors have different shades. If you want to get a different shade of a color you've been using, you can do this trick. You can do it with these colors and the same time with these colors here. You just click on the color, long click on it, like left click, but leave your hand for a long time on your click key. Just click, leave your hand on it, and you see different shades of that color will come up. And you can just pick one. Let's use this. And as we click it, I told you about how the color history works. Any color we use comes here. So now let's put this in one here. I think that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, now let's do a little tweak on the right of Sweet Home interiors, right? Okay, let's separate them. Leave Sweet Homes and put the interiors under. Enter key. Sorry, that's asterisk was a mistake. Backspace. Enter key. Now, how do we separate this to text? Let me teach you a trick. Control K would automatically separate a text object like these. You get, if they are in 2 different lines and you click Control K to separate the one from the line under from the line on top. But if they're not in 2 different lines and there's just a space in between them, like the suite and the homes, it will separate the suite from the homes. But if there's no space between the words and it's just one word, maybe like suite, and you use Ctrl K, it will separate all the letters, the S from the W, from the 2 E's, and from the T. So now, since the interiors is under the suite homes, if I click on Ctrl K now, see, just separated the interiors from the suite homes. I would advise you to be jotting down these controls so you don't forget them. I'm going to reduce this a bit. I think I like, when I work on logo write-ups, I like using the lighter form of black ash instead of that. So you see I'm changing the colors now. I want it ash. I don't want it black. So okay, sorry, I was clicking on the color without clicking on the object. Silly mistake we can make sometimes. Click on the object, come here. Click on the color. Yeah, I think I like that. I come here, click on this. Now what I want to do is I want it smaller and underneath Sweet Homes. Then I want to use my shape tool and spread it out. Good. Alright. Now remember, when you design a logo, everything comes into play. Colors, sizes, simplicity. Get now, this is simple and yet it sells the idea of a home. Wow. You could definitely relate when you see Sweet Homes interiors. You could relate, wow, this is a window. You get, this is definitely maybe relating to a structure, a building of some kind. Some might say it's a church. Some might say it's an event tent. Event tents have this kind of windows as well. Churches have these windows as well. Some homes have it as well. So you get It sells the idea. Now, see what I put here that I said I didn't really know what I'm doing. Actually, I think I can now relate it to a piece of earth. The building is standing on earth. You get? So it all falls down to your own mental ability, how you see things. Now, left to me alone, this logo is done. This logo is done. But now this is the dark shade of the logo. I have to create it in a light shade. So the client should have variety, and the logo will be perfectly flexible and versatile for documents in case they have to invert and use it for a dark document. Now let me show you what I mean. Now let's create a new page. Come here and click plus. Open a new fresh page. You can come here, highlight everything on this page. Control C would copy. Come to this page. Control V would paste. Now create a rectangle tool on your background as your background. Turn it to black. P, just press on your P key to centralize it. Now you see it's covering everything here because it's in nearest shape. He wants to show himself. It's covering everything. Now right click, come to folder, send it to the back of the page. Now you see how this logo looks odd because of its dark colors on a dark page, which is what I was explaining. Dark shade will look odd on dark job samples or dark documents. While bright shades will look odd on bright job samples or bright documents. It's quite simple. Now, let's invert colors. Now, instead of this green, why don't we use a lighter shade of green? Maybe something like this. If we don't like it, which I'm not sure I do, we could pick something else. Maybe like this. I think this is better. Now, let's do the same thing for here. Now, remember, this is not a field. This is not a field, it's an outline. So instead of just left clicking to not work, right click and come here and click set outline color. Okay, now this is a field. Left click and fill. Now for the switch homes, it's very simple. Just come click it and turn it to white. White. Now this orange, you can use the lighter shade of orange. Okay, I'm not seeing the shade of orange I want, so I'm just going to long tap yellow and get a shade of orange I would like. Maybe this should do. No, that's too light. Now let me teach you how to mix colors. You see how I'm complaining I don't have the shade of orange I want. Now I want to mix colors to get what I want. Now this color is already here. I want to just sprinkle a little bit of orange on it. Now this is a very sweet trick. I always like doing this. Put your hand on control while clicking the object. Now I want to mix this is where I want to mix color on. I already put that shade of yellow, but I want it to be more orange. Now click it, put your hand on control, just press down control and leave it. Now come to the color you want to mix with that color that is already there. And just be clicking it gradually increasing that the shade is turning. If it's too much, add another color. You can come here, add maybe let's add white to brighten it up a bit. If it's still too much, add orange again. Let's see now. Yes, now we created our own shade of orange. But as you can see, it's not in the color history. So what if we want to use it again? Oh no, how do we get that color? Relax. Now this is your eavesdrop tool, apricot tool. It's used to steal colors. And you just click on it, left click on it, come here, put it on top of the color you want to steal, click on it. And you see it has picked the color, it's carrying the color for you, asking you where you want to drop it. Come here, this is where I want to drop it. Drop it here. And if I drop it there, you see now that it's showing now history. Good. Come back to your select. Now this will be our light version of the logo, and this dark version. So that is how we end the class for today. And this is, remember I said this is just that was just the basics on logo design. I'm going to teach you more on branding. Logo design is just the first step into branding. We're moving into our advanced classes next, and that's when you start learning deep into branding, creating of slogans and trademarks and full branding, advert designs, flyers, and the rest. Thank you very much for partaking in today's class. Remember to follow our social media handles. I will update students via our WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is filled right now. I don't want it to pass. I said before, I'm going to close the link. But you can still be following us up. If you're not in the group, you can still be following up sample videos that will be dropping on our YouTube page and Facebook page, as I've been doing. But these advanced classes will be for a special set of students, which I will be announcing in the WhatsApp class. So thank you very much, and I will see you in your next class.